from the Flower and Garden Festival in Epcot. Just kidding, I wish. But here we are, once again, doing some live art requests. And without further ado, let's dive on in. But first, let's say hello to everybody. Hello, Robin, good to see you. Hello, CJ. Hello, Matthew, thank you so much for being here. Hello, Robin. Woo! Hi, good to see you. What's up? How are you doing? And oh, that's right. Matthew says that we should nickname Robin Daisy Duck. We should call Robin Daisy Duck. Alright, so how's everybody doing this evening? Well, for me, things can go be a little bit better, but I'm holding up slowly but surely. Not sure what happened, but I had a bunch of reference photos nice and loaded, and because of the magical power of technology, they went kapoof right as I hit the go live button. So, welcome to our lives. But fortunately, we do have some backup images, and now we are ready as I'll get out to get this party going. Without further ado, if anybody has any requests, let us know right now, or forever hold your peace. Let's get started with Pluto. Thank you so much. So we got an orange bird, we got the Mr. B, I forgot his name, some butterflies, some topiaries. Oh, definitely not Tupperware. Hello, Goody, good to see you. It's a small world after all. Oh, thank you so much. That means a lot. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. You've already made my day way better just by being here. Thank you, everybody. I was going to like awesome kind of the blast stuff of life, but I'm like, not. Let's just keep it positive. Let's keep the party going, and let's enjoy some food and wine. Not food and wine, but some Festival of the Gardens, whatever they called it. So here is Pluto enjoying his day in the flower bed, chasing after some butterflies. Oh, that's Spike the Bee. Where can we be with Spike the Bee? Hello, Lyle. Good to see you. What's up? How are you doing? And by the way, Lyle, I love that you got to go out to the beach yesterday. How was the rest of the beach? Spike the Bee, Bob the Builder. Yes, we can. This is Pluto, but really fluffy and flowery. I know I'm thinking way ahead, but when I do get to 500 subscribers, I am definitely going to see if I can get some membership badges enabled, just because I love the idea of like seeing all the membership badges and all the emojis going in the chats. And I already do have some ideas, but I would love to hear what kind of emojis would you like to see. I know it's kind of a tall order since we are at 390 subs, and we're going to definitely see if we can get to lucky 500. So we can enjoy some emojis in Disney World by June. We will be in Disneyland. This April. I'm glad to hear, Lyle, that the beach was treating you well, and it sounds like it's been some really nasty weather across the country. Meanwhile, in Colorado, it's been blasting autumn suns. It's been blasting all the sun. And you know what's really wild is because it is spring forward as of now, that it's like still nice, bright and sunny, despite it being wicked and dark last night. And that's right, Gundy, let's draw a wedding buzz at ya. Robin's asking, how about the McQueen matter tapestries that I have this year? So let's do McQueen first and then wedding buzz. McQueen. The cold doesn't bother me. I'm McQueen. Oh, Mr. Oh, now here we go, double ka-chows. With the double ka-chows. Epcot is never complete without the McQueen topiaries. What really impresses me is how Epcot was able to manufacture a bunch of like these greeneries and actually shape the bushes into these cars. They do remind me of the animal tapestries that you can find in Disneyland's It's a Small Facade, and these attractions actually originated from 1964, 1966 correction, during the opening day of It's a Small World in Disneyland. Another wild thing is that the It's Small World facade used to have the illusion of a forest behind it, but what happened is that maintenance said it was too hard to keep the trees alive and to keep watering the trees in the California heat. So down with the trees, Disney originally wanted there to be an illusion that there was an entire forest, orange grove forest, behind It's a Small World facade instead of just a bunch of ride shows and buildings. So I just realized this, but the next time I stream, I'm going to make sure to enable closed captions so anybody who's ninja watching can enjoy the show just as well, even with the closed captions on. You too, Tea Time Alien. What's up and happy Sunday? Woo! And yes, I can definitely draw. And I can definitely draw Figment Matthew. Oh, thank you so much. And I do apologize for not seeing your comment earlier. And I'm also curious, Robin, what goes into making these tapestries? I know that there's a whole lot of patience and a whole lot of willpower that goes into making them stuff. That goes into making these things. And I begin to wonder, are these actual or real flowers, or are they plastic flowers? Which kind of ruins the magic, but I'm always curious. Same here, Robin. No clue either. Oops, messed up, but we shall salvage. Pivot. So here you go. You got the two card tapestries, and next up, we're gonna get ourselves a nice some Buzz and Woody tapestries to go with all the cachows. So I'm curious for everybody who's either been to the Flower and Garden Festival or virtually gone. What has been your favorite thing to see or your favorite thing to do so far? For me personally, whenever I virtually visit the Flower and Garden Festival, I do enjoy seeing the flower arrangement themselves and virtually and trying shrimp and grits. Matthew says, "Hey Tony, did you hear that Disney did a commercial for the Buzz Lightyear Space Run spin? Not quite yet, but I would love to see that. I hear that the Buzz Lightyear Space Run spin does resemble the Space Ranger spin in Shanghai Disneyland. Matter of fact, the Buzz Lightyear spin was originally going to mimic the Lightyear film, the Pixar Lightyear film, but unfortunately, because it was really sad performance in box theaters, the entire plan was scrapped, and Disney decided to go with basing it off the Shanghai Disneyland attraction. I'm just really sad that I never got to ride the original. I tried a few times, but each time I went, the line was 3 hours long. So the one really sucky thing about going to Disney World sometimes is everything you want to do is a 3-hour wait, and you get to do nothing because everything is such a long, tedious wait. Unless you decide to pick one thing and go through with it, which can be really sucky, especially if you came from like thousands of miles away or hours and hours away. Yeah, that would suck to hear, Matthew. I heard that Lightyear was like a pretty decent movie, but the critics and the box office were like blah blah blah. Next. Yeah, I do realize that movie critics and the box office don't always see line to line with the general audience, and I realize that there's like can be a lot of confluffle between the critics, the box office, and the general audience, which can be kind of frustrating, especially if it becomes a really good classic like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. Do you know that the Willy Wonka film and the Wizard of Oz were both box office fails and busts? But because of the invention of VCRs and DVDs, both Wizard of Oz and both Wizard of Oz and Charlie and Willy Wonka actually became legendary films, which really does blow my mind. Robin says, my favorite thing of Flower and Garden is the food and booths. Furushi is amazing, so what does Furushi taste like? Matthew says that he really enjoys the alcohol, the rides, and the food. There's some really good booze. I heard that there's some really tasty booze in the Japanese pavilion. I haven't had any booze personally. But yeah, I haven't had any booze personally just because when I'm out and about in Disney World, I'm usually streaming. And I don't like being drunk when I'm streaming. I don't being intoxicated. Whoop. I'm not sure why, but when I see Buzz's like cheeks chin swole, I call it a dizzy disc. Not sure why, but it reminds me of a frisbee. And I call frisbees dizzy discs. I've been calling it's been that since I was a child. Not sure why, not sure where that came from, but I always call frisbees a dizzy disc. It probably came from the fact that when I used to do occupational therapy, there was this disc that looked like just like a frisbee, and we called it the dizzy disc. So I'm actually beginning to wonder if that's where that terminology came from, the dizzy disc. Another thing is, I used to think that Buzz Lightyear wore water wings. Not sure why, but I always envisioned Buzz Lightyear in water wings and in gymnastic belts. Oh, thank you so much, CC. We got Buzz Lightyear, we got Woody. Right now, we're just drawing up a little tapestry first. Next up, it's gonna be Figment. To infinity and beyond. I know Gutty says kind of off topic, but can you draw something from Friday at Freddy's? Heck yes. I can definitely do Freddy's at. I can definitely do Freddy's. Freddy's top story coming right up after I draw Figment. I'm doing 5 minutes at Freddy's. Hello, Chaz. Good to see you. Woo! How are the ducks doing? I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for being here too. And heck yeah to the Ducks. Hope they win. Hope they score big. And I hope they get every single goal that they aim at. And also another thing is, Robin says, Furushi consists of strawberries, pineapples, and cantaloupe or leche wrapped in coconut rice, pink soy paper served with whipped cream, berry sauce, and toasted coconut. You know what? I just realized something very, very special. As I'm actually coming, I cannot give very many details or specify too much, but I am coming to Disney World a few days early, meaning that I'm able to catch the tail end of Food and Wine. So note, I'm going to be going live, if possible, from the last day of Food and Wine Festival, which is June 1st. So that's where I'm going to go live from, if possible. If it's not too crowded or too chaotic, I'm definitely getting Furushi, and I'm getting whatever y'all want me to try. That's going to be my treat to you all. So thank you everybody for being here. And right now we're trying to draw Figment, which can be a little awkward because of how he looks in the flower display. Sorry, Figment, but you kind of look like Elmo right now, or more like Cookie Monster. I'm sorry, Figment. Sorry if I'm messing up your proportions. So this is Figment as a tapestry, and we also got another request from Lyle saying, can you draw Pete the Dragon? Absolutely. After I draw Figment, and I draw Freddy Fazbear as a tapestry, I'm going to be drawing Pete the Dragon as if he was a tapestry. I know it's kind of a tall order to try to get into Epcot the very last day of Food and Wine. The park could sell out just not Food and Wine, but Flower and Garden. The park could sell out just like it did for Food and Wine, but bumper to bumper crowds, bumper to bumper everything. But we should try. That'd be one Tony's dream. So here you go. One little spark of imagination. And not Chaz, we're gonna give Figment a wild ring just for you. Well, chicken wings, hot dogs, and bologna. Eating copyright strikes with my homie. I know, Matthew. We gotta bring back Dream Final. And what really kind of blows me away, is that, what really blows me away is the fact that there is now, that 11 minutes of the right track has been cut off. The right track used to be 11 minutes long, and now it's been shortened to 5 minutes, which really guts me. So bring back the old school Figment. Woo, woo, woo! Let's make some noise for Chaz. So everybody here, if you can't hear me, be sure to put a bunch of woohoo, heck yeah emojis and thumbs up emojis in the chat. So let's make sure that Chaz can hear us. You're very welcome. And of course, we gotta draw the wild ring. We gotta draw ourselves the wild ring, but as a top stray. So there you go, Chaz. Hello, Blake. So good to see you. We'll come back to Five Nights at Freddy's, and we'll come back to Pete the Magic Dragon. But first, because Chaz is here, we are gonna be drawing the wild ring, but as a top stray. And yes, I can draw Pluto. Woo! Heck yeah, Blake. Let's draw Pluto. I also forgot to ask you, Blake, but how was Star Night Parade last night? Unfortunately for me, my YouTube went kaput. I didn't get to watch anything last night because all I got was a blue screen of doom and sadness. So I didn't get to see anything from the Magic Kingdom, which made me really sad. Yeah, how was Starlight? So here's a wild ring. Oh my gosh, so I'm curious, how many yellow cups has Chaz had so far? I'm rather curious. When I come to Disneyland, I'm definitely going to have at least one yellow cup of Chaz. That's going to be my limit, just for health reasons. And I just be limiting myself to one yellow cup. But we are definitely got to do ourselves a one yellow cup. Woo! That's awesome. So I'm curious, Lyle and Blake, what kind of coffee are you drinking right now? So I'm curious, what kind of coffee are you drinking? One of my favorite coffee is the instant coffee with heavy cream, mixed with cinnamon and caramel drizzle. I know, Robin, I gotta level up my game and get myself some Starbucks. And get myself some Starbucks and get myself a whole bunch of Starbucks coffee and cream. Hello, Debbie. Good to see you. What's up? How are you doing? Woo! So good to see you. What's up? And I am doing well. So glad to see you here. And thank you, Debbie, for enjoying the Hollywood Tower Hotel videos, where I basically sit around for 3 to 5 minutes, rambling incessantly about the Hollywood Tower Hotel or dropping some trivia. I know my videos can be a lot, but that's how I ramble. So here's a Five Nights at Freddy's part of the top story. And next up, our next destination, Pete the Magic Dragon was a very magic snowman, and when they put it on his head, he came to life. Oh, Pete the Magic Dragon was a very jolly snow. So with a cone cap hat and a button nose and we got a copyright strike. But just kidding. Aw, too much Puffy. Looks like we need a bunch of coffee right now. And Matthew says that Disney World is really dead, and meaning very low attendance during the summer. So I'm curious. So I hear that if you can tolerate the heat, go in August and in September when everybody's going to school. Even if you're going to get really, really roasty and toasty, That's the best time to go for reduced crowds if you can tolerate the heat, even at nighttime. For me personally, I wish I was more heat and cold tolerant. This way I could go in the parks with either really hot or really, really cold. But the only trouble is, even if I was more heat tolerant, my phone would be like, wah, wah, wah. Nice try, Tony. Kaput. Yep, the parks just get really, 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 really busy, especially during the summer months. And that's what I'm thinking. Get to know, Blake. That's exactly what I'm doing. And that's exactly what I'm gonna be doing in Disney. That's exactly what I'm gonna be doing in Disneyland because of the heat. Instead of streaming during the daytime, I'll be streaming rain tonight, even if I have to stream until 12 p.m. until 1 in the morning. That's how late I'm gonna be streaming, just so I can avoid the heat and keep my phone from like going sizzle sizzle kaput. Chitty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, pew pew pew. There goes my phone. So here you go. You got a nice fluffy Fredbear. Matthew says, for me, it'd be nighttime in the summer instead of hot during the day. 4 people deep right now on Main Street. Oh my gosh, that sounds absolutely miserable right now. I would be in sweaty, messy tears as if I was treading through 4 people deep in Main Street trying to stream. That would be a streaming nightmare come true for me personally. And huge round of applause for everybody who's out there streaming right now. 4 people, 5 dimensions deep into Main Street. And that's right, Matthew. Definitely go at night in June, July, and August if you don't want to be melting. And here we go. Here comes Pete the Magic Dragon. And speaking of coffee right now, Lyle says, I am drinking a peppermint mocha, espresso right now, double shot. Is that from Starbucks by chance? And also when it comes to Pete the Dragon, the really sad thing is that the remake of Pete the Dragon did not seem to do so well, which is really, really, really sad. Another thing is, what really get me interested, what I find wild is that the original Pete the Magic Dragon was from the from the 1960s. I actually got to see Pete the Magic Dragon on DVD years ago. But what's really strange for me is when like the actors start singing in the lighthouse, it always reminds me of sushi and seaweed. So whenever I watch Pete the Magic Dragon, I always make sure to be eating a bunch of sushi and to have a lot of seaweed, just because every single scene makes me really hungry for seaweed, especially for seaweed. You definitely gotta watch it again, Blake. Pete the Magic Dragon was a very jolly soul, and when I put it on his head, he came to life and said, oh, Frosty the Dragon was a very jolly soul. Yep, seaweed for sure, heck yeah. And yes, it is seaweed, the stuff that you can buy at Costco, Target, Walmart, or wherever your local convenience store is. So yes, Blake, I mean seaweed, not the other seaweed. So here is Pete the Magic Dragon. There you go, Blake. The one and only Pete. And Matthew be like, can you draw Sierra streaming at the parks? So yes, Matthew, I can draw Sierra as a tapestry streaming at the parks. One Sierra coming up. And Gunny says, but before we draw Sierra, I know the chat was jumping around a little bit. Gunny says, can you draw RD2 and CP3PO? Absolutely. So here we go, R2D. Let me get up a weapon for the R2. D2 and dun drum roll, C3PO. And yes, Blake, I can draw he next. Oh, I didn't realize that Pete came out in 1997. I thought he came out in the 1960s. And yes, Blake says draw Sierra and me with gimbals and a DJI. Yes. All right, here we go, Blake. After we draw the robots, we are going to be drawing Sierra and Blake with a bunch of gimbals. That is so ironic, Blake. That by the time The second Starlight Parade passed by. Kabam! Everybody was like, night night. I gave up, too crowded. Adios. So everybody be running. To the monorail, be running to the hills, and be running to wherever they go, and everyone be like draining out in the Magic Kingdom. The original. Thank you so much, Blake. I do like drawing everything as top of stories tonight, just because we are on the subject of Flower and Garden Fest. So everything tonight is gonna be a top of story, which kind of makes tonight a little different than the usual art stream. Maybe next week we might draw everything as a chibi. You never know. Never know what we're going to come up with. But most nights we do like drawing everything as is in the original forms. And yes, I can draw the Guardian of the Galaxy Rewind Tapestries. Yes, after I draw Sierra, I'll be drawing the Guardian as a tapestry. So everything tonight is gonna be a very special tapestry. Because right now we're just making ourselves a big, beautiful garden. Bang! What are you drawing? Bang! RD2T beep 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 blop. So yes, that's why everything looks very fluffy and feathered up tonight. I do realize that it might have been a little confusing of why everything might be very luscious and like a garden. So next up we got the Sierra and Blake tapestry after we get these robots done. So if Sierra is in here, let's call her name 3 times to get her to poof appear just in time for a tapestry. The Sierra tapestry. This is how I actually envision everything as if they were tapestries. I do wish that Disney would actually make this tapestry garden into a reality. And I wish I knew some more Star Wars trivia. Oh, that could be true. That could be you in CPT 03, or that could be Blake in the CPT, or dressed up as CPT 03. So there you go. So here you got yourself a nice little CP3 tapestry. So here's what the garden looks like. This is what the garden looks like so far. And thank you, Lyle, for the reminder. If you enjoyed what you see today, be sure to smash the thumbs up button and subscribe if you want even more live art, Disney World content, Disneyland content, and Tower of Terror ramblings and endless trivia. So here we go, Blake and Sierra coming right up. Looks like this calls for a separate sheet of paper since we're out of room on here. And before we change up the paper, let's do this. This is my own unique take on the flower and garden sign. So there you go, Epcot Flower and Garden. Blake is asking, have you ever drawn Hello, Debbie, good to see you. What's up? How are you doing? Blake's asking, have you ever drawn something, then ask AI to color it in and perform an animation? Thank you so much for asking, Blake. Yes, I do. That is part of how I produce some of my videos. What I do is oh yeah, Pluto, whoop. We almost forgot Pluto, whoop. So Pluto can go right here. So I just raise this, but when it comes to doing AI artwork, what I do when it comes to when it actually comes to my videography and AI, what I actually do is I create the artwork by hand. Then after I'm done drawing it by hand, I put it through Solar AI. Solar AI is what animates it, but yet because I don't really like how Solar animates the entire animation, I use another app called Video Leap to remove the background and put the artwork onto the background, the characters onto the background that I like. After I get the characters on the background, I then use a voiceover AI called 11 Labs, where I can voice over my AI characters from my script that I originally conceptualized. That's how I use AI in my artwork. So right now most of my work is a hybrid between hand drawn artwork, my original concepts, and AI, just to speed up the animation process instead of having to go frame by frame. Hello, CJ, good to see you. And Matthew did say something. Let's see what Matthew did say. Why did the bellhop quit at the Hotel of Town? Because the job had too many ups and downs. And you would be right. Too many ups and downs. What goes up must come down. And you know what's really nerve-wracking about town, especially as you're writing it and you never know what kind of drop you're going to be getting next. And as you're writing, you just feel the right card going up and up and up and up, up. And as you know, the higher the card gets, what really does get my adrenaline pumping, the longer the drop is going to be. So basically, what happens is you're going really, really high, then kaboom, down you go to the bottom floor, and then you get jerked back up. That is loud about the tower drops. Even though that the tower drops come from one to four profiles, you never know what profile you're going to get, and it's very easy to forget. What profile you might be writing, just because of how much the drops can be. Blake says he loves to drop. So, you're very welcome, Blake. I'm curious, Blake. What do you like about being weightless? For me personally, when it comes to the drops, the only way I do tell is if I'm live on YouTube, and if I'm live on YouTube, and if I'm singing "It's a Small World After All." That's the only way you'll ever get me to write the Tower of Terror. That's the only way you'll ever get me to that's the only way you'll ever get me to write the Tower of Terror is if you sing along with me and be like, "It's a small world after all. It's a small world after all." So yes, that's the only way that you ever get me to write the Tower of Terror. And don't get me wrong, I love the building, I love the facade, but I'm not the biggest fan of drop rides, drop towers. That's why I've not ridden the Tower of Doom at my local amusement park, Illich Gardens. And yes, I get really nervous doing even the kiddie carnival rides. And yes, that does include the drop towers, and it does include even the roller coaster made for kids, even like the little roller coaster in the kids' lands. I'm like, no. Get me far, far away from that roller coaster. So, long story short, I don't do any thrill rides. I don't even do. Oh yes, the Cosmic Rewind Tapestry. We are actually going to put the tapestry right next to Blake. Hello, Richard. What's up? How are you doing? Right now, we got yourselves. Right now, you came in for a bunch of tapestry artwork. So everything we're drawing as a tapestry. Good to see you too, Richard. Woo! So right now, we're drawing ourselves to Blake and Sierra tapestry, and we're also going to be drawing Cosmic Rewind right next to them. This is how I imagine as everything would be, is if they somehow turn it into an Epcot tapestry if there were actually tapestries in Epcot. So right now, so yeah, I know I do talk a lot, but here we go. Let's keep going. This is definitely not a silent night. And right now is Sierra. That's right, Blake and Sierra tapestry. Oops. And we got a whole bunch of DJI microphones. Aw, thank you, Matthew, for putting Richard's link in the chat. That means a lot. Aw. And also, Richard, I really do enjoy your Fortnite streams along with your art streams. I'm also really excited that you get to go back into the parks in just 5 days, 5 magical days. It's wild how time flies, and I'm just really, really happy and thrilled for you right now. So this is the Sierra and Blake tapestry. And that is what happens if everybody was to turn into a tapestry today. Blake says he does love to go weightless. For me, the only time I've been weightless is in the Tower of Terror. Another time would be I would really love to go ride the Vomit Comet, which is a zero-G plane that launches you up into the air, then drops you on a polar balloon. And as you get dropped down onto the polar balloon, kabam, you're weightless. You're floating around as if you're on Tower of Terror, but you can fly around as if you are on the International Space Station. And so Mitchell says, I cannot wait to come back to the park. And thank you so much, Mitchell, for getting some of the really amazing Tower of Terror images. I'm so hyped for you right now. Thank you so much. That is so awesome. And thank you so much, Richard. And thank you so much, Richard, for Rain Events for making my entire month of March. And I'm also really excited. I'm also really hyped to see the Hollywood Tower Hotel in person this coming June. End of May, coming June. I cannot believe I'm going to be in Disneyland too. Really gets me really excited. Oh, Blake says, nah, I'm not doing any rides like the Vomit Comet. Oh, so no Vomit Comet for Blake, I understand. The only, not sure why, but when it comes to heights and things like skydiving and tower skydiving, I don't really get bugged or bothered. The reason being is that it is a free fall, and there's like something, and I'm not sure what it is, but something about being strapped into a carnival ride or even a thrill ride that is not Tower of Terror, that's not Tower of Terror, gets me a little like EBGB. But I'd rather. But that's why I don't mind going. That's why I don't mind the idea or even the concept of skydiving or bungee jumping. I know I'm kind of a stranger in that way. Not the biggest fan of theme park rides, but I'm like, hey, do you want to go skydiving? Me, show. Hey, do you want to go on a Vomit Comet? Heck yeah, let's go. Let's go to outer space. Heck yeah, let's go. Wins take off. Matthew's asking, does Keith ride roller coasters? He does not ride very many roller coasters, but he does ride. He rides everything else but the roller coasters, drop towers, or any thrill rides. I did get him on Star Tours after I said that it was more of a motion simulator than an actual drop tower. He's like, show, he did have a good time, and now he really does enjoy some Star Tours. He also does not mind rides like Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run, because the drop is very short, and he's also considering Slinky Dog Dash. But me, Slinky Dog Dash, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Space Mountain Tron, count me out. Not going anywhere near these rides. I'm like, nope, not it. I'll wait for you in the gift shop. And if somebody wanted to go ride Slinky, I'd be like, all right, so everybody, let's go ride Tower of Terror. Then we can meet back up after we are done. That's how I am towards thrill rides too. I'm like, oh no. Get me off of it. Don't make me buckle up. No. I know, Blake. I must ride that Slinky. I know, Blake. I make no sense. So yes, what I don't mind doing is riding Tower of Terror, which is... Alright, so here we go. I know, Blake, I make a really strange run. So yes, I can ride Tower of Terror. I don't mind dropping up and down, launching up and down 13 stories at 39 miles per hour. But when it comes to anything else besides Tower of Terror in the thrill category, I'm like, no. Keep me off of that. I don't want to even go near Cosmic Rewind. So yeah, I'm kind of bizarre. I don't make any sense. Yes, so I do ride all of... I would do skydiving, bungee jumping. And if I had a really good instructor or really good mentor, I would try skiing. I'd try really steep skiing. I'm not sure, but there are times where I love going down a very steep hill on my bicycle, especially if I'm in the mountains biking around. I gone down a really steep hill or going as fast as I can on my skis. But when it comes... I know, Blake. Nope, not going to be doing no Cosmic Rewind. So I know, Blake. I know, Blake. There's definitely going to be a push to get me onto Slinky. And of course, Epcot is not complete, not even the Top Story version without the Spaceship Earth. So if anybody has any other requests, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to be doing a bunch of temporaries from Epcot. So I know, Blake. I know we must trust arms. Do you mean we must trust turrets? We must trust turrets. I know, Blake and Richard. You're going to get me on the Cosmic Rewind. Just thinking about Cosmic Rewind is no, not happening. I'm also that way towards Barnstorm with no, not happening. Oh look, can Tony ride Big Thunder Mountain? Oh no, not happening. What about Tron? Nope. What about Oh, what about the little leapfrog drop towers at the carnivals? Nope. And Blake's asked, so you ride Mission Space? Heck yeah, let's do Mission Space. If anybody's around, let's go on Mission Space Orange, because yeah, let's ride Mission Space Orange. Woo! Heck yes. Oh, that'd be awesome. Richard, do you ride Mission Break? Do you ride Guardians by chance? And I'm curious, Richard, what rides do you ride? Also, Matthew, hello, Wilson's World, good to see you. What's up? I find it, and also, Wilson's World, do you have any art requests? I know I'm like really pathetic. Yes, let's ride Orange. Come on, let's go ride Orange. And yes, let's go ride Spaceship Earth with Richard too. Woo! So here we go. We got a request for Spaceship Earth. Speaking of which, this is what happens when all your tabs close of all your reference images. You basically have to sit around, retype everything letter by letter. And definitely, I can draw you out some horizons too, which will appear after you draw some Spaceship Earth. So no, Spaceship Earth goes right here. Actually, wait, it's going to go next to Sierra, because Sierra does love herself some Spaceship Earth. And because Sierra's here, we're going to get ourselves 3 Spaceship Earths. So Sierra gets 3 Spaceship Earths. 3 Spaceship Earths. I'm curious, Lyle. What do you like about Horizons? What's really challenging about drawing Spaceship Earth is that the triangles have a very, very distinct look. And if you mess up the triangles, well, you get nothing. So this is how you draw kind of like an abstract version of Spaceship Earth. Tower of Tapestries. I do wish that I got to ride Horizons. Unfortunately, what happened was to Horizons is that it dated itself. It got outdated, so it's like, wow. So there goes Horizons, there goes everything. And long live the body rolls, long live all the entertainment from Epcot. And hello Frozen, hello everything. It's kind of strange, but I do miss the HelloFresh food deliveries that one of my roommates used to get years ago. This has been years ago. One of my roommates used to get a bunch of HelloFresh. I really miss cooking with the HelloFresh. Oh my gosh, what did I do? The spaceship of what? Yes, Blake. Heck yeah, that's right, Frozen. What did I? Oh my gosh! I'm so sorry, spaceship. Oh, what did I do to you? And yes, I would be mad too, Matthew. I'd be mad if somebody got rid of Worlds of Motion, Worlds of Horizon, and Worlds of Tower, Worlds of Twilight Zone. And that's awesome, Blake. Someday, when things are better, I'll be ordering myself HelloFresh. But not for the way future. That's probably at least 10 years in the picture. Probably not for the next 10 years. Now it's time to redeem Spaceship Earth and make Spaceship Earth grand and miraculous and fireworks. And here you go, monks. Here's Luminous. So I'm curious, what does everybody miss about Horizons? And I do apologize to everybody wearing headphones and people trying to constantly adjust the volume just because of how loud and unpredictable my voice can be. That's the magical world of apraxia of speech. That's as a heads up for future viewing. And yes, that's right, Wilson. What about refreshing cup of Beverly So Not? Here you go, Sierra and Blake. Sierra and Blake are not complete. Sierra, Blake, and all the streamers are not complete without at least a cup of Beverly. So here you go, a nice flowering floral cup of Beverly. And here's all its little bubbles coming out. So here's the Beverly tapestry. Beverly. And if you say Beverly 3 times, you got to do the Beverly challenge. So here it is, a spaceship of Sierra, Beverly, Blake, ka-chow! And not because it's time for Beverly. Let's ka-chow one moment, everybody. So not Beverly time. This, as you might recognize, is a cup of Beverly, not the Hollywood Tower Hotel. Close your eyes and pretend that this is the Beverly, not the Hollywood Tower Hotel. And on the count of 3, everybody, raise your glasses up. We're gonna be doing a ka-chow in 3, 2, 1. Ka-chow! Ka-chow! And there you have it, a Beverly. So there we go. Let's get back to doing some more artwork. Oof. So yes, I know Spaceship Earth might be looking a little wonky today because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 Spaceship Earths. A Spaceship Earth inside of a Spaceship Earth that would actually make a really interesting display. They have a small spear inside, encased by a clear spear, kind of like Buzz Lightyear's helmet. If you get the gist. Blake's asking, so what's the recipe for ka-chow, Richard? We are very curious to know. So Richard, with the power of your magic, please let us know, abracadabra, what's the magical recipe for Beverly? I know, everybody, Beverly be nasty, but I actually do like the flavor of it. There was one time when I went to the World of Coca-Cola in Disney Spring months ago, I basically sat down with my tray of full sodas. The Beverly was my favorite one on the tray. The rest of the sodas went to the can. Thank you so much, Matthew, for that reminder. Be sure to thumbs up and keep this party going. If you want to see me ride Mission Space Orange, especially if you want to see me ride the Tower of Terror, the more thumbs up, the more subscribes, the better we can make your dreams come true. And also, If we get, and also another magical thing is, if we get 500 subscribers, that is when we can have really amazing emojis. I'm so hyped to see that. I'm so hyped for all the emojis too. Not sure why, but I just love seeing the emojis. Alright, so does anybody else have any other art requests before we any other any art requests? I'd love to hear them all. That's right, Matthew. All emotes. I do love myself some emojis. Mama Medulla, Mama Medulla. Pardon me. Oh, pardon me. Oh my gosh, Matthew, I am all over the place tonight. So here we go. Coming, going, once, going twice. Here's an order of horizons for Matthew. Not sunset. Horizons. Epcot. There was, speaking of horizons, there was actually a few people who like to make mischief in the attraction. Some people be like, so there was 2 people who were annoying to get inside the attraction, and this was before Disney had e-stops or any actual ride safety features or monitoring systems. The two people would get inside of Horizons. Then they would sneak out of the ride car. Upon sneaking out of the ride car, what they would do is they would go around the sets and find any props that were not glued down. Then, after they found the props, the people basically loaded up an entire ride car full of props for the cast members to deal with. There was like a lot of mischief going on back then. A lot of stuff you can't get away with because of like all the ride safety features and all the e-stops. Oh, that is so sad, Lyle. So what's base 220? I'm curious. I'm curious, what do they have at Space 220? For some reason, I thought it was another name for the Geo Lounge. It's such a shame that they tore down Horizons, which was such an amazing top tier ride, and that's why I get really, really worried that they're gonna be tearing down the Tower of Terror just because of what they've done to Horizons. So I'm like always worried, which really guts me to no end. And before I forget, let's draw the big, beautiful facade to go with Spaceship Earth. Because Horizons is not complete without its facade. So there you have it. A nice tapestry Horizons. Woo! Heck yeah. I almost forgot it's like very iconic. Forgot it's very iconic gridded facade. Not gridded facade, parallel facade. It's fun to be free. It's fun to be free. Racing along the racetracks and all. Whoop, whoop, boom, boom. It's fun to be free. Here we go. Whoop! Oh no! Ah! Oh no, quick! We're going 65 miles per hour. Whoop, whoop. Here we go. So there you have it. Here's a tapestry. Does anybody have any last art requests for the last few minutes we got together tonight? Unfortunately, tonight's going to be kind of a shorter stream than usual since I do have something else going on after this. And I want to thank all of you for understanding. I want to thank all of you for being here tonight. Yes, I can be a little loud. I can be a little rambunctious. But welcome to the Tony Tower party. Woo! Because once the party starts, the party don't stop. Heck yeah, allegedly. And unfortunately, my weekend plans got canceled from this weekend. World of motion, here we go. Here we go, world of motion drawn. Coming in 3, 2, 1. World of motion as a tapestry. So that kind of got me feeling like a little blah. But other than that, got me feeling like a little blah. But other than that, I shall keep on going. And I'm curious, what happened to the world of motion? Here we go. One last thing as Epcot takes its bow tonight. Let's bring back every single old attraction. What happened? I forgot, but what happened to all of World of Motion? I heard it got demolished and destroyed. And I got ran over. And I got ran over by a tractor and ran over by a reindeer. World of Motion got ran over by a reindeer. World of Motion got ran over by a reindeer. Which really makes it sad because now it's an extinct attraction. World of Motion got ran over by a reindeer. Which is really, really, really sad. Now I got Christmas songs stuck in my head. I can't even spell, even if the word's in front of my face. I can't even spell if the word's in front of my face. That's really, 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 really saddening that World of Motion got closed because Disney was like trying to compete on something really thrilling. That was definitely when Disney was trying to compete with Universal and other theme parks for thrill rides. I had no clue that this used to become predate Test Track. So here you go, the predecessor to Test Track, sitting there and glimmering. I didn't realize that the outside of the Test Track, I didn't realize that Epcot actually kept the World of Motion building, only to turn the exterior in the Test Track. That's so good to know. That's what I find really, really wild. I had no clue that they would do that to World of Motion, and that they would actually add an entire roller coaster track to the exterior. Well, with that being said, thank you everybody for being here. I hope you had an absolutely wonderful time. And I know that this was like a much shorter than anticipated stream, since I forgot I have something going on. Also, another thing is, I'm curious what should next week's theme be. I'm thinking Chibi, but I'm probably going to go with St. Patrick's Day, just because of where St. Patrick's Day falls on the calendar. So thank you so much, everybody. And allows us, yes, that is true. World of Motion is a new test track. Thank you so much, Matthew, for being here. Well, it's definitely been an amazing time, and there's just something very special about being here, being able to have fun with you all, and also definitely stay tuned for any Disneyland updates. If there's anything if there's any specific Disneyland food that you would like me to try in late April, early May, let me know. Same with Disney World in June. If there's anything first week of June, that's when I'm in Disney World. So, and like very late May, first week in June. If there's anything you want me to do, ride or see or try anything, let me know. We will do it. The only disclaimer is I would not be getting onto any thrill rides, any roller coasters, except for maybe Mission Breakout, but we never know just because Mission Breakout is unfortunately a really big lag zone, and even if you have a really strong Wi-Fi reception or a strong data, Mission Breakout can be really laggy just because of where it's situated in the park. Hello, Sierra, good to see you. Unfortunately, I do have to wrap up, but right here is a request from Blake, and here you go. So Sierra, since you're here, do you have one last art request? So we got ourselves everything drawn as tapestry. We got Blake. We got Blake. We got Blake. We got Guardians. We got the Roads in Motion who got replaced by Test Track. We got Sierra, the GIMX, the Gimbals, the Beverly, and of course, not one, not two, not three, but 4 Spaceship Ops plus Luminous. That's because I messed up each and every single Spaceship Ops proportion until I got Spaceship Ops number 4 correct. So do you have one last art request to close out tonight? It's okay if you don't. And Sierra says, the ride is not so laggy, but the queue line is. I can imagine. And if I was to splurge on a lightning lane, I would definitely splurge on a Mission Breakout lightning lane. The reason being, when it comes to Mission Breakout, I would definitely want to make sure that you all can enjoy Mission Breakout, get into as soon as possible, and not have to deal with a whole bunch of lag, which would be like a big downer, and would really disrupt really disrupt the good times. And also, before we go, here is one wonderful World of Motion. Long live World of Motion, long live Horizons, long live old Epcot, entertainment to its finest. Long live the old school Epcot from the 1990s that had over 300 animatronics. Now, there's 30 animatronics if you're lucky. Thank you. So that's good to know. Thank you so much. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you, everybody, for all your sweetness, all your kindness. That means the absolute world to hear. Thank you so much. And as always, to close it out, it's a small world after all. It's a small world after all. It's a small world. Woo! Heck yeah, see you around.